guys doing today? Your saltwater guy, Captain Dave Hansen, and Kelly Girl. Live Thursday, Fishing Booker Thursday. Fishing Booker Thursday. We got a lot to talk about today, gang. Today's a big, big show. You want to share this with all your friends and family. The word has come down from the higher ups, being my sister. We all need to participate in this big meeting. But today is a massive day. Today is Don Hansen's birthday. The great Mr. Don Hansen, my father, God rest his soul. Today is his birthday, and we want a big shout out to Captain Don Hansen.
Yep.
Thank you very much for all that you've done for our industry. We couldn't have done any of this without you, Pops. So thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
And I just want to say, I feel so blessed that I got to know him. Not, I stayed at his home. He was so gracious to have me in his home a few times. Took me to the airport. He's just I'm so thankful that I got to know him while he was here, and I didn't know what a legend he really is and was, and all he contributed to the industry. I really didn't understand it until, unfortunately, he passed. But that being said, I feel very blessed to be a part of the Hansen family.
Wow, thank you. We're very blessed to have you as part of the family. It's been a real joy and honor.
Shut up. He's such a brat.
My goodness, gang.
That's not what he said this morning.
Oh, that's what I say every day, for God's sakes. Today's a very special day for my sister, my brother, and I. We're glad that you all reached out and wished my father a happy birthday this morning. We posted it on all our social media. I did, my sister did, and my brother did. So if you guys don't know who he was or don't know who he is, at the show's over, just Google Donald K. Hansen and kick back and watch the hundreds of thousands of pages come up all about his legacy and his life. And because of the man and the way he gave back to our industry, that's why we get to do what we get to do on a daily basis as far as fishing for the fish that swim in our oceans all around the United States. He was a big-time politician. He made sure to keep that bluefin tuna fishery alive for everybody on the East Coast, the West Coast. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for that bluefin fishery, you wouldn't see many sport boats today. It was a crushing blow back in 2014 when they shut down bluefin. You were allowed this many in 2014 for a very short period of time until my father and all the guys down in San Diego and Ken Frankie and everybody got involved and took over and made sure that we kept that sport fishing 2-fish limit open for us. And you can't even comprehend what it might be like right now if there was no bluefin. This industry would not look like it looks today. That's for damn sure. You wouldn't see the 75 little skiffs running around at 1,000,000 miles an hour going giant bluefin fishing. That wouldn't even be here. That whole thing wouldn't even exist. And then the sport boats, who knows how many of those would be left without bluefin. So thanks, Pops, for all that. And then my sister and the sport fishing industry of California wants to make sure that every single one of us, and you guys are watching this podcast on so many different platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, Rumble. We all need to show up to the Fish and Game Commission meeting on the 16th and 17th. It's going to be imperative, gang. They are on a mission to shut down fishing in the great state of California, let alone the whole United States of America. We got another thing going on the East Coast. There's some bluefin being caught on a pier over there. It's a big news. Now they want to shut down the pier fishing because they don't want you fishing for bluefin. What's the opportunity or the chance to catch a bluefin off a pier? Like slim and none. And now they found out that somebody caught one on the pier. Now they want to shut that fishery. It's just absolutely ludicrous if you could see from the inside of what's going on. So my sister called Kelly and I today and said, we have to talk about this on the show. Yep. It's imperative that we all show up. The QR code's right there on the screen, gang. Everybody just hesitate. I know it's going to click you off of the show, But grab the QR code and make sure that on the 16th and 17th, that's next Wednesday and Thursday, that you show up to this meeting.
Yep.
We all need to be there. We all need to raise our hand. We all need to say something. And if you're afraid to speak in public like that, remember, you don't even have to turn your camera on. Just have your volume on and just say, my name's Jim, and I don't agree with the closures in any way, shape, or form, or whatever. Just say something.
Everyone's
Say boo.
voice counts and matters, guys. If you want to get your spouse or your girlfriends involved, they can also call. You can use your separate phones, right? How you do that, but every voice matters. Everyone counts. So please, please, please participate in this meeting.
And I'm going to tell you all something. We're gonna pull the covers back a little bit. This process is about as filthy as everything you're seeing Doge uncover right now. If that makes you sick and that makes you want to vomit, the billions of dollars of our money that they've stolen from us, well, if you watch the process of what's going on with the closing of our fisheries, this will really make you sick. What I'm going to tell you is, y'all have one of these. Y'all have an iPad. Y'all have a computer. Kelly girl will be on the phone as Kelly. She'll be on the iPad as Elizabeth. She'll be on the computer as Stice. Then she'll be on the the PC downstairs with the laptop. But she'll be on the PC downstairs at Kelly Hansen. It behooves us all to be on as many things we can be on.
Devices,
use your middle name, use your first name, use your last name, use your business name. Raise your hand on every one of those. You don't have to. First of all, we're not asking them questions, because when you watch these people, you don't want to know what they know anyway. The last thing you want to know is what they know. They know how to steal money from the American people. That's it. They know not. They've never been outside. They hate me from the bottom of their heart because I got a suntan and I'm able to talk and I'm able to speak and I have information that scares the hell out of them. But I need all of you to be kind of inventive on the way you're going to approach this. We the people, gang, it's time for we the people to be involved. We have to make a big showing on this. What's at stake? Your right to fish in the state of California. Your right to fish, and believe me, it will affect Texas, New York, Florida, because everybody does what California does. Gavin Newsom's been ripping off the citizens of California for a very long time. That's why everybody else rips everybody off, because they watch what Gavin does and they think, well, if they're going to rip off California, might as well rip off the rest of the United States.
Well. And
they're going to take away our ability to fish. Forget the word sand bass. There's so many of you out there that are, I don't even like sand bass. I don't even like sand bass. Who needs 10 sand bass? Who needs 5? Who needs 4? A lot of people that aren't as wealthy as you need them because they like to eat them. What does sand bass taste like? Food. They taste good. Exactly like food.
They taste like fish. Really good.
We the people need to wake the hell up, gang. If you're sick and tired of this, this is your big opportunity to get involved, to be a part of the solution. Instead of walking around complaining about what's going on, get involved. And like Lisa said, Kelly, she put a challenge out there to everybody. Do this. Invite a friend to come on this meeting with you tomorrow, and or on the 16th and 17th, and your friend has a couple of phones. Yeah. And your friend has a laptop, and your friend has an iPad, and your friend has a computer. Log on to everything, gang. Let's play the filthy game that they play with us. Let's get as filthy dirty as they do. I'm sorry. Remember my name. It's Hansen, Hansen. When you're telling everybody, Dave said to get filthy. I'm not saying to be obnoxious or cuss, but let's get inventive. Let's go on everything that we have. Let's raise our hand on all of them.
Because they were blown away at the last meeting, weren't they? I mean, all the people that were, no, not everyone even got to speak. I know I waited all day long.
Well, because they did something super illegal. The law clearly states that everybody should be able to participate, but they only paid for the minimal because, they ripped all that money off. They can't spend the money on what they're supposed to spend it on. So they paid for the minimal amount of people on a Zoom meeting, which is 50. Well, I know for a fact that 150 your Saltwater Guide members showed up at the meeting. My wife didn't get to speak. She was logged on to 4 different devices. She didn't get to speak. I was logged on to 3. I got to speak on one of them. So many people that we talked to, they're leaving comments right now. They were all on this Zoom meeting. 90% of us didn't get a chance to even say boo, let alone say a word. And you're not going on this thing to ask a question.
No.
You're simply going on there to
make a comment, make a statement, and make it simple. Less is more, and just be effective in what you say, and that's it.
And then my sister she'll be there both days. She'll be up at the meeting. Her and Brian Woolley, from Captain of the Sun Fund, worked for the family forever. They're both going up together on their own dime, because that's how this game is played. We, the people that are trying to keep fishing open for all of us, we have to pay to go. Those people that you're going to see there, the opposition, they're getting paid by the NGOs, the non-governmental offices. They're getting paid to be at this meeting. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about fish. They don't care about nothing. They're showing up because they're getting paid. Now, I'm just saying, because you guys, most of you have never seen these meetings. There used to be 15 or 20 people that would stand up there, opposition at the desk. Now there's 5. There's going to be probably 10 in the audience. And you're going to get to see them. And we've sent out the Instagram messages and the emails of the opposition people that are getting paid. They don't care about the environment. They're getting paid to be the opposition because it's all about control. They don't want you to be able to go get your own food, for one thing. Whoa, if they can't control they lose control. They want to be able to control what you eat. And a lot of people that fish for sand bass use them to eat. So you just need to understand what's going on. We're going to get into some fun stuff. We're going to talk about fun stuff here, but the industry is leaning very hard on our podcast, very hard on my big mouth. For once, they love my big mouth. It's pretty crazy. But they're leaning hard on us because they know the power of us. Your Saltwater Guide followers and members, they know that we make a difference. At that last meeting, if you guys could go back and look, when they announced that there was 50 of us waiting in the skew to talk, I thought they were going to end the meeting. They were terrified. They didn't know what to do. And they were allowing 3 minutes to speak. When they found out there was 50 of us, they took it down to 1 minute. Gang, let's have 300 or 400 people. It's not that hard. We have average on Facebook about 3,000 people a day watch this live show. Instagram, another 4,000 people watch it. On Spotify and Apple, another 8,000 to 10,000 people listen to it every day. Over on YouTube, another 1,000 people. Let's just say half of those people showed up. Boy, it would scare the hell out of them. It's not that hard. All you got to do is, I got to work, Dave. Log on.
Just log on
in the morning and have it on your phone. Gang, I employed a lot of people in my life. I see everybody's on. I don't care what you do for a living. You're checking your phone all damn day. So do yourself a favor. Do your children a favor. Do your grandchildren a favor. Do Kelly and Dave a favor. Let's all be on this meeting. And Lisa and the rest of you that are on here, Brent and all the other, Tim and John Stanley and everybody, you guys can do some behind the scenes text messaging, the group messages. You guys want to get in the groups. They're on here right now. The people, We can all get them. We can blow this thing out of the water, gang. It matters. I don't care if you don't think it matters. The whole paradigm, like I said with Bill Martin yesterday, has changed dramatically. We're getting to see that we, the people, actually have something to say, right?
Yeah.
So
we just have to be persistent and stick with it, and just know that we matter. So I used to think we didn't matter. I used to think, oh, I don't want to vote. I don't want to say anything because it doesn't matter. They're going to do whatever they want to do. But that's not true. That's not true. Every voice matters.
Absolutely. And like Lisa said, bring a buddy, bring a friend, bring somebody you know, bring somebody to the meeting. And you got to go to work. That's not an excuse. Sorry, because they're going to close fishing while you're at work. Really?
Then what?
And then you're going to go, I can't believe they closed fishing. Well, remember, you were too busy to show up to the damn meeting. And it's once more time, and then we're going to get into fun stuff. It's not about sand bass. You got to remember that, gang. They're using the word sand bass. It's every fish. It's just fishing, period. So, yeah, we don't want to lose our valuable sand bass. That's kind of what built the industry, but we don't want to lose fishing anymore. We're tired of it. They keep taking and taking and taking. And these are evil, evil people that are only there for the money. So I'm going to throw this poster up. My sister had us. If you cannot show up Wednesday and Thursday, then show up Thursday morning at 8:30 in the morning. Log on to the meeting through the QR code. It's agenda item number 23, the barred sand bass.
There are a lot of agenda items. If you've never looked at one of these meetings, their agendas, they're filled with a lot of just regular stuff. If you go through and you read all the agenda items, don't be scared. Don't give up. It's agenda item number 23. It's so important that you're there. Your voice is there. It's just, we can't stress it enough.
Super important to show up, gang. Super important. All right? So
what's it with the fun stuff? This is fun stuff too. We don't want our fun stuff taken away from us. So
no.
That's why we're kind of, just
fired up.
Yeah. This is fun stuff.
We need you guys to download the QR code so you show up to the meeting. And I'll put the QR code back up a little later in the show, or go back and watch the show. It's right there in the first few minutes of the show, the QR code.
Or you can also just Google California Fishing Game Wildlife. What is it? You'll get to that. You can actually go on their site. You can
California Fishing Game Commission meeting, April 17th.
You can find the meeting, the agenda items yourself if you missed the QR code and don't know what the heck we're talking about. It's just super duper important. Or give Dave a call.
Yeah, give me a call. 949-374-0786. And Dwayne asked a question last week. I've kind of tried to do some research, and to hand off your time, that's not what we want. We want the people to show up. They're not going to allow us to hand off your time. But when I talk to the powers to be, like my sister and Ken Frankie, we need to show up. Dwayne, it's super important for you to be on the call. It's super important for Lisa. It's super important for Tim. It's super important for Brent. It's super important for all of us. And then another thing, and we're going to talk about this every single day. You got to be a grown-up on this phone call. And for me to say that is a kind of a big deal.
Well, you're a grown-up when you need to be, for sure. So
no cussing, no name calling. We know you're emotional. We know that those of us that it's going to affect and it's going to kill our livelihood in our fun times. We know how hard it is to think that that's going to happen, but we cannot be emotional, because that's what they are. Mm-hmm. They're the emotional ones. They're the crybabies. They're the ones out there sucking their thumbs and burning down Teslas. They're the ones. Okay. So let's not do that. Let's not be that. Let's be a bunch of grown-ups. Let's conduct ourselves in a grown-up manner and speak eloquently, Write down what you're going to say. That's the key. When Wayne Coda told me that, I was like, oh my God, that's the smartest thing I've ever heard.
Yes.
Just write down what you're going to say.
Make it short and, less is more.
Head down, read what you're going to say, and be done and get out. Read what you're going to say and get out. Don't throw any of your emotions in there. Don't get too wound up on the emotional thing, because that's what they're planning on. And then they all sit around there later and tell each other how beautiful they are and talk about the dummies that were talking smack. So let's not do that. We have to oppose every single agenda. You're absolutely right, Matt. We have to. It's super important to be involved, gang. Don't let yourself down by not being at this meeting, because you're just going to let yourself down when you go to get on a boat next year or the year after and you're like, we can't catch anything. Well, you didn't show up to the meeting. So
that's what it's going to come down to. And we'll all be, so bummed if it ever happened. If it ever came to that, that would really be a tragedy. So let's stop them.
Show up to the meeting.
Let's make a difference.
We got to be there for.
So what's this fun stuff we got?
Okay. So Kelly Girl and Lisa had a couple of meetings before the show last week, and they were talking about fun stuff to do and fun places to go when you're fishing with your spouse in Southern California. Well, the Banning House over in the Isthmus in Catalina is a really cool place to go. You go over to the Catalina to the Isthmus, you get a mooring can. You got to make a reservation. It's a beautiful old hunting lodge called the Banning House. Look it up. It's beautiful. It's incredible. The views are mind-boggling.
Wait. Let's go back. Let's go back. Rewind. Not rewind, but just go back. Dave, for those folks that have their own boat, that they've never been to Catalina, they're maybe nervous to go to Catalina. What do you do? So I have my own skiff. I don't have a slip. I have to launch it from Dana Point. What do I do if I want to go to Catalina? How do I get there? What do I do once I get there? What do I do with my boat? How do I get on the island? Tell us, can you just kind of give us a rundown? Is it scary? Is it like...
Hold on that thought for 1 second,
because it's a lot of questions.
No, it's okay, but it's Fishing Booker Thursday, and without Fishing Booker helping us do the show and being our sponsor on Thursdays, we can't do the show. Let me show you a quick little video I made with Fishing Booker, and then we'll go right. We're going into this, so get your pens and paper out, and I'm going to tell you all about Catalina. But check out this cool little video I made, and I know the dad doesn't fish as good as you do, Matt. I know that. No matter where you are, fishingbooker.com can find you a boat to fish on. But there's nothing like fishing with your kids. Nothing like going fishing with your son or your daughter. Being out on a boat that can actually find your fish and get memories and take pictures like that and just fish with your kids. There's nothing like it. Let fishingbooker.com find the right fishing boat for you. Go to fishingbooker.com, wherever you are on the planet, and they'll find you a boat to go fishing on. All right, gang, we're back. So there you go. Anywhere on the planet you are and you want to go fishing, check out fishingbooker.com. That'll get you dialed in with whatever you want to do. Like, you're in Hawaii, you're in Africa, you're in Dubai, you're in Ireland, you're in Florida, wherever you are and you want to go fishing, just go to fishingbooker.com. They'll set you up with a boat to go on. All right?
Who's Matt? His dad's...
Matt Ryan, he's
no, it's Comet.
Yeah.
I know who he is.
He's this guy.
Did you read his comment?
Yeah, he's talking about the dad and how good of a fisherman he is.
On
the video that you've watched 800 times.
What are you talking about?
You've watched that video 800. She's never even seen the video, and it's been on the show every Thursday.
That's all I watch. That's all I see is the dad. I don't look at anything.
Yes.
Just kidding.
All right. So Catalina, Matt Ryan went there yesterday. I gave him some tips on where to eat and stuff, but Catalina is a phenomenal place. It's like a little bit of paradise in the middle of the ocean, 32 miles off the beach, 26 miles across the sea. Santa Catalina is waiting for me. But that's a song. You can look it up. But Catalina has got so much history, and it's such a wonderful place. And when you step on the island, you can feel it. You feel all the great things on the island. But if you're going to go from Dana Point, you launch your boat at Dana Point, or you launch your boat in Newport or Long Beach or LA or whatever, and then you run over to Catalina. You got to look at the weather and make sure the weather's not bad, because like Kelly and I always say, if it's blowing, we ain't going. It's okay to say ain't.
I don't like to use the word ain't because it's not a word, but
that's our saying. We have a shirt. We have a coffee cup.
If it's blowing, we ain't going. That's for sure.
But you want to run over to Catalina. I know you want to fish a little bit, but your spouse wants to go on the island. They've seen all the cool videos. They want to go do a little shopping. You promised them if you told your spouse, if you let me buy the boat, we're going to do this fun stuff that they saw in the brochure, like going to
then you have to take them
Catalina
to Catalina
and doing all this.
You have to let them go on the island, and you have to let them fish. You got to, or not fish. I mean, you want them to already fish. Go shopping. You got to take them to a nice meal. Where would they go?
So when you get to Catalina, you pull into the harbor there, Avalon. It's on every chart plotter. It's very easy. And you set out in front of the green pier in the main channel, and a little red boat is going to come to you. That's the harbor master. It's not the harbor patrol. They're not police officers. They're the harbor master, and they're going to assign you a mooring can, and you'll tell them, I'm just coming in here to have lunch. That's what you want to say. They're going to charge half price of what the mooring would cost for the overnight. I'm going to just come in and have lunch. They're going to give you 4 hours on the mooring can. You tie up to the mooring can, then you get on the radio and you call the shore boat, and the shore boat will pick you up off of your boat, take you to the green pier. Once you're on the green pier, the first thing you have is Rosie's Fish and Chips right there on the green pier. Most of us grew up having fish and chips on the green pier. As you walk down, on the left-hand side is a place called Eric's, right on the pier, where you can have a cold beverage, a beer or something. Then as you get to the end of the pier, onto the main street, to your right, that's headed towards the casino, which is a must-go to look at. You got to go look at it. And then to the left, you have the Tiki Bar, you have the Marlin Club, then you keep walking, and that's where the cruise ships drop all their people off, and the ferries all go to drop the people off. They got these big docks off to the left as you come off the pier. As you go to the right, though, and you go to the casino, it's pretty spectacular. The casino has a movie theater. They run first-run movies in the theater. It's very, very beautiful. It's a fun walk around. You can rent an electric car, or they're not electric, they're gas, but it's kind of weird. It's a hybrid, for lack of a better word, a hybrid golf cart. And you can do that and go for a little drive around the island. You can drive all the way around the area that you can drive around in about a half hour, 45 minutes. There's not a lot to see. Or you can go for when you get off, let's just say you went over there and you already knew you were going, you make a reservation for the tour bus, and you can go on the tour bus and go for a 2-hour tour of the backcountry of Catalina. That's where you're going to see the bison. There's about 150 free roaming head of giant buffalo on the island. There's a ranch up on the top of the island where Mr. Wrigley and his family kept their horses. There's also like a small type of a zoo up there. And when you're on the cruise, you get to go to the backcountry and see all the beautifulness of Catalina. That's something that's fun to do when you have time. And then back down at ground level, all the little shops and all the little stores and all the little things in the restaurants. There's lots of really good restaurants. Steve's Steakhouse, my very most favorite place to eat. The owner, it's still a privately held. Most of those restaurants on Catalina now are corporate. So it's a family operation. Steve's Steakhouse, beautiful view. Matt Ryan and his guys had lunch there yesterday. It's really quite fun to check out Catalina. Some of the things historically about Catalina, Ronald Reagan's very first job ever in the entertainment industry was announcing for the Chicago Cubs. Mr. Wrigley, they owned Catalina since the early 20s. They built the casino. Casino is not Here's something most people don't understand. Casino does not mean gambling. If you were to look up the word casino in the encyclopedia, It means place of gathering. People think, oh, casino, Las Vegas. No, the casino in Catalina is where you would go in the 40s, 30s, and 40s and go dance the night away to the big
And
bands.
it's I just have to butt in. It's beautiful. I love Art Deco, that decor, that era. It is, I mean, it's just incredible the way this place. It's just it's beautiful. It's just a must see for sure. Just to even go inside and yeah, definitely. Sorry.
Yeah, like Mike Lewis said, there's an airport on the top of the.
Oh my God! Speaking of the airport, if you get a chance, if anybody has a plane, their own plane, and you get to take
Fly
off,
over there?
oh my God, I did it when I was younger, and it's kind of scary when you're taking off. You look like you're gonna fall into the ocean, but yeah, it's phenomenal. Really, really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. It looks like you're gonna fall off the end of the island because it's got a little hump in the runway.
Mhm.
The runway kind of goes up and then you take off. It's kind of crazy. It's also when you're landing because of that hump, you think, oh man, we're not gonna slow down until you go over the little hump and then you stop. And it's kind of sketchy, but it's kind of cool. And like Mike Lewis said, they have a lot of old memorabilia up there at the old airport. And that's part of the tour. When you go on the tour, they take you by the old airport. Now, back down the casino, like Josh Blaze was saying, the casino tour is a must do if you have time. But that's when you have this 4-hour window, you don't have a lot of time to check everything out. It's a great place to go during the weekend. Forget it. There's a billion people there. But if you can pull a weekday, go over there on a Monday and go home on a Friday and stay for the 3 days in the middle on the Catalina Express, sometimes you just have to go, okay, I'm going to leave my boat at home. I want to just go enjoy the time. They got a bunch of cool little 2-star, 3-star hotels. There's no 5-star hotels. So understand that. They're just little boutique hotels. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of cool. It's the way it was when Mr. Wrigley turned the island over to the Catalina Conservatory. They were under the understanding that it would never, ever change. They can remodel the hotels, but they cannot tear them down and build them. So the very nicest one there is the Metropolitan, and then after that, you got the other ones. They're up on the other end of the island at the Isthmus if you want to see something really spectacular.
If you want to do something special for me, that's where I'd love to go. Stay at the Metropol. I think it's the Metropol. Is what it's
Metropolitan.
Called. Okay, well, if you want to take me somewhere special for my birthday in July, that's where I'd love to go and stay. Anyway, back to our
poor
show.
Kelly girl doesn't get to do anything fun.
But we did stay at one of those hostel type places, huh? That was interesting.
The Hermosa.
At first, I was like, "What? We have to share a bathroom
with
everybody?" But it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. We stayed with Stephen Bora and his brother. We had, that was lovely. It really was. It really was.
And my boys, as you met Zach last week on the show, they grew up going to Catalina with me on our skiff, and we would go over there and hang out for 2 or 3 days and stay in the hostel, which was really fun. And that's where Kelly and I stayed. It's kind of cool. You're using a bathroom. And the hostel is right above the Bond's grocery store. So you can get all the food you want downstairs and then take it up to your room. And it's kind of cool. But up at the other end of the island, the Isthmus, very, 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 I don't even know. It's just what's the word? I had it. But it's super unbelievable. What?
Nostalgic?
No, it's no asphalt, no roads, no cars, dirt.
Oh.
Dirt. All dirt. And you got the Banning House. You Google that, you go, whoa, this place is gorgeous. One restaurant, one bar. The restaurant's called The Reef. Very nice food. Very, very nice. The bar is called I can't remember the bar. I had it just now. But there's one bar, outside bar, and then there's a cafeteria style place to eat. And you can walk from one side of the island to the other. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes, and you'll be on the back side of the island. Walk to the front side of the island. The Isthmus Harbor and Cat Harbor, the harbor on the back, it's like you're in a lake. It's just unbelievably beautiful. They have a real cool beach type of laid back bungalow type thing on the, or not bungalows, palapas on the sand in front of the isthmus. It's really a fun place to go if you want to get away from. What I tell everybody is, you go down to Avalon, it's like Disneyland. You go up to like the isthmus, it's like going to Yosemite.
Tell us about Cherry Cove.
Cherry Cove is a place where you moor your boat. It's just a bunch of mooring cans.
But what is there anything special about it? No.
Not really. It's just where you moor your boat. Why? What did you do special there?
I didn't do anything because that's what I'm asking about.
You never got to go?
No, I know that...
Kelly never got to go to Catalina. I was there every weekend.
I'm going to be honest. I went just a few times. We went white sea bass fishing. You took me there once, and then another time we went when we stayed with Stephen Bora. But so no, I don't know a lot about it. I went there when I was younger. I used to go there. I would go there quite a few times when I was younger, but I don't really know. I mean, I know it means a lot to you.
So my owner that I worked for, Michael Greenberg, the owner of Skechers Shoes, I used to run his shop for him. He owned a mooring can at Cherry Cove. So I spent a phenomenal amount of time in Cherry Cove, but there's nothing there. It's just a bunch of moorings. It's a beautiful little cove. When you come into the isthmus, on the right-hand side, you have Cherry Cove, then you have 4th of July, then you have the isthmus. On the other side, you have Big Fish Cove, which is owned by USC, or leased by USC. They have a campus there, the hyperbaric chamber there that you can go for a tour of. The fishing in there is incredible because no one's ever been able to fish in there for 50 or 60 or 70 years. Fish are super tame. The diving and snorkeling in there is absolutely wild. There's millions of leopard sharks and shovel-nosed sharks and bat rays and lobsters and moray eels and abalone. But no one's allowed to fish in there. So that's why the fishing in there would be incredible. For some reason, Kelly thinks she needs to slam into my chair every couple of seconds. It's terrible, that noise. You broke rule
number 2.
I did.
I'm
the breaker of the rules. I'm the breaker of the rules.
I was just trying to get into the shot here.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'll go way over here.
Get in here. Stop it, you weirdo.
I would just...
Here, I want to show everybody something that Kelly loves to watch. Check this out. Get over here, you weirdo.
Woo! From the roof. Oh, rooftop fish. Rooftop fishing. I want to get dirty. I just took a shower.
My God. This is my favorite
episode. Caught another one.
Is that Jeffy?
Yeah.
Okay, so what episode? That's my favorite episode of Inside Sport Fishing. Oh my God. Do we know the episode number so people can go back and watch it?
It's a 3-day trip on the Ocean Odyssey.
You got to see, I think it's a 3-parter. Is it a 3-parter? 4-parter, Inside Sport Fishing.
With Michael Folks.
It is awesome. We've got yours truly on there. That was him fishing from the very top. And for those of you that know Jeff from the bait barge,
one more time, because that was kind of overwhelming. Here, look.
Rooftop fish. Rooftop fishing. I want to get dirty. I just took a shower. Caught another one.
That was incredible yellowfin tuna fishing. And like I said, I had just got out of the shower. I wasn't going to fish anymore. I'd already caught a billion of them.
It's a great couple of episodes. All of Michael's, those episodes of Inside Sport Fishing are wonderful, but that's my favorite one. And how'd you get that? I mean, how did you find that?
You told me you wanted to see it, so I called Michael and he sent it to me, and I cut it up and put it up there for you to watch.
Sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll wake up because I can't sleep, and I'll go downstairs and I'll watch some episodes of Inside Sport Fishing because we get them on. I don't know what it is, but I can go back and watch all the episodes. I will watch that just over and over and over again.
And that was the last time I fished I paid for a ticket and went fishing on a sport boat. It was pretty crazy.
And it's so funny. Here's a funny little story, and this is true. You told me you were going like to the grocery store, and then you never came back because you were going on this 3-day whatever trip. Yeah.
Well, I worked every single day
like I would get
on
mad.
the water, every single day, and then I finally had a couple of days off, and I went fishing after I work every day on the water. So I told Kelly I was going to the store, and
he never,
went on a 4-day trip.
He did like one of those dad things, you know, the divorce dad or whatever. Anyway, it's a great episode. You guys got to watch it.
Yeah, it's a very, very fun episode. We caught
Dave,
a zillion
you did
yellow.
some crazy things. You were, yeah, you just got to see it.
Yeah, well, it was funny because it was a Shimano sponsored trip,
right.
but I'm an Okuma guy, so all my rods and reels and everything I was using was Okuma. So Michael said of all the videos he's ever made, all the episodes for Inside Sport Fishing, that was the hardest one to edit. Because my mouth, I was screaming and yelling. I was hooked up the whole time, and I had all my Okuma gear and my Okuma sweatshirt and my Okuma hat and my Okuma shorts. And he just said it was just brutal to edit me out of it because I was in everything. I was always running by the camera, hooked up. He was just...
Well, it turned out to be, it's just phenomenal. We love Michael Folks. If you haven't seen any, you got to watch the history of sport fishing. If you haven't, start off with A Tribute to Tuna. That's how I got hooked. It was A Tribute to Tuna. Amazing, amazing footage. Amazing. Such a great series. It's wonderful. So anyhow, I'm going on.
No, you're good. You're good, babe. You're good. And so we talked about Catalina, which is phenomenal. And you guys, all you got to do is call me if you're going to go over there. I'll help you out tremendously. Don't be afraid of Catalina. The harbor guys will help you out, get you on the mooring can. Nobody wants you to fail when you go. They all want you to have a good time. But Kelly Girl and my sister were talking before we went live. Things that they thought that was super important to talk about today on the show was, go ahead, babe.
Well, guys, or girls, or if you are fishing by yourself and your spouse is not part of the whole thing, get your spouse out there. Get your significant other out there on the boat. Keep it local. Don't go offshore. Have a bathroom. Have somewhere where they can go to they can go potty. But if you don't, it's okay, because if you stay just right outside the harbor, it's an easy trip back inside if you're fishing out of Dana Point anyway. I don't know. That's where I was blessed when Dave first got me hooked. Was I fished right outside of Dana Point Harbor. And it was fun stuff. I was hooked immediately like that. So, if you're thinking about getting another boat and you need your spouse on board, you got to get her into fishing, because, she'll definitely say yes to a new boat, right, Dave?
Yeah, it'll help you stay in the thing.
Don't go offshore. Don't. But do the Catalina thing. I mean, that's kind of a stretch at first in the beginning, because it is, it's not super close, depending on what harbor you're coming out of. But keep it simple. Keep it close to home, and just have a few hours out on the water. Go back in, and just every time, just keep it a little bit longer each time. But you got to when you do take your spouse, make sure that your spouse is catching fish. Well,
there's a couple ways to do the Catalina thing, babe. You can take your spouse, go over there on a Monday morning on the Catalina Express or the Catalina Flyer, get her in the Metropolitan or one of the other hotels there, and then jump on the Catalina Express, come back in the afternoon, tell her to just hang out, go shopping, do whatever, relax. I'm going to leave you alone. Go get your boat and drive back over there, and then get your boat on a mooring and hang out for a couple days. And then now she's comfortable, and she can ride the Catalina Express home, and you can drive your boat home. And then pick her up at the dock when the Catalina Express gets home, or vice versa.
That sounds awesome.
Also, there's if they're not into the boat ride and they got a tendency to want to get sick, there's a helicopter ride. It's $150. Leaves out of Long Beach.
But that's
12 minutes. It all is what you're into. It's all. Yeah. Listen, if you own a boat, You got a couple bucks anyway. No one's owning a boat and don't have a couple dollars for the helicopter ride. But it's going to help you to keep the boat. That's all we're trying to say. Is if you show your spouse or your significant other that there is a whole bunch of other things besides driving out in the middle of the ocean and spending thousands of dollars on fuel to catch a fish that sucks to eat. Oh, a bluefin. There's so much more fun stuff to do besides that. And you can work with your spouse on the whole Catalina thing because there's so many different options to get there. There's so many different ways to do it.
Well, okay, so away from the Catalina thing, just like taking your spouse out fishing, I will never forget I think it was it may have been the very first fishing trip you took me on. Do you remember?
When we caught all the calico bass at the red buoy?
No, you took me shark fishing. You remember that? Thresher shark?
Oh, with Jeremy.
And it was awful. It was awful because we trolled all day long.
Thresher shark fish.
And it was so boring. Dave was in a beanbag on the deck with some, I think you were, I don't know, with your gyros. I don't know. It was awful. I didn't like it. I thought it was the most boring thing in the world. I'm not one for trolling. So if you want to get your spouse or significant other out on the water, you know what? Take them on a half-day boat out of Dana Worth Sport Fishing. I think that is ideal. You can go shopping. You can have dinner afterward. There's so much to do in that harbor there. I love it. But you can, and it's Dana Worth Sport Fishing.
Yeah, and it's Dana Worth Sport Fishing, and today is my dad's birthday.
Yes.
Don Hansen's birthday today. And then coming up on the 15th of May, we got Don Hansen Day at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, and we're going to be announcing next week that we're going to open up the fishing trip. The original 10 that went with us last year are coming again this year, and then we're going to open up 10 more spots. So think about it.
Do I get to go for sure?
Yeah, you get to go for sure.
Yay!
May's a huge traveling month for us. So we're going Don Hansen Day on the 15th of May. There'll be lots of giveaways, lots of fun prizes, and the great Kelly girl's going to go fishing, and she loves fishing in front of people. That's like her favorite thing.
Well,
she loves to show everybody what a great fisher person she is.
Yeah, I do.
And
I learn from you.
So we're going to be doing that on the 15th of May. Think about it, gang. It's not going to be free. It's going to be $200, and here's how it works. So you can think about this, and then we're going to open it up next week when my sister's on the show and tell everybody about it. We're doing it on the Clemente. Last year we did it with Calvin Cooper on the Helena, but this year we're doing it on the Clemente so we can bring more people. The Clemente holds 60. We're going to bring 20. And Wayne Coda is going to be there. Justin, Pablo, Al.
Don't stop. Get it, Justin.
And myself will all be there hosting all of the guests that come with us. And we have all kinds of great contests. All the sponsors pitch in a bunch of stuff. It's just a fun day to celebrate my father. And we'll be on the Clemente. And the $200, $50 goes to the galley. $50 goes to CCA. And $100 goes to Dana Wharf Sport Fishing because the boat doesn't drive for free. And the crew, there'll be two deckhands and a captain, and then us. It's going to be a great day out on the water. We're going to be raising money for CCA. And then speaking of CCA, tonight, huge event, Kelly. I wish we were up there. Irvine, California, the Bass Pro Shops at 5:30 tonight. The great Michael Folks will be speaking in person. You guys can meet Michael. Y'all grew up watching Inside Sport Fishing. We talked about it a little bit on the show today. He'll be at the Irvine Bass Pro Shops at 5:30 with surf fishing guru Benji Kim. They're going to both be there doing a seminar, the history of sport fishing and where we're at today in sport fishing with Benji. It's going to be a great event. They're going to have raffle prizes, so bring a little cash. All the money that's raised goes to CCA. Bring a little bit of cash for the raffle prizes, but there's going to be refreshments. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres. There's going to be food. There's going to be refreshments, beer and wine.
But just to see Michael Folks is worth.
And he doesn't do a lot of events like this.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So to come and see him speak, learn a little bit about the history of sport fishing, get to talk to the man. He's very approachable. He's going to be there. And Benji Kim's no slouch either. It'll be fun to see both of them. If you guys are coming home from work this afternoon, most of you have to drive right by the Irvine Bass Pro Shop. Just swing in there. Get something to eat.
God,
grab a beer.
I'd give anything to be that close.
See
to
Michael.
The Bass
Oh,
Pro
yeah.
Shops. No, to be in Irvine, to be able to just swing in there.
Yeah, and the Sephora.
Oh, yeah.
Ulta.
Yeah. Anyway.
All the other stores that are right there in that shopping mall, right?
Right.
And then Michael Folks. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss it. You're going to be talking about it for a long time afterwards. There it is, Anglers Night Out with Benji Kim and Michael Folks. Check it out, gang. Most of you are going to get off work around 4:30. Be perfect timing on your way home. Stop in there, call the spouse, tell her you got to stop by Bass Pro Shops and say hi to Michael. And
she'll probably want to go with you.
And support CCA is the big thing. That's the only voice we really have at the table, ccacalifornia.org. And the reason I'm talking about it is because we love Michael, we love Benji, we love fishing. And it's important to be involved. So make sure you swing by there. Dave Brown from Okuma will be there. Somebody, I think Brian from Promar. I'm not sure exactly who's going to be there, but there's going to be a lot of industry there. It's a big night at the Bass Pro Shops. And just go in there and say hi to everybody, get something to munch on, and buy a couple raffle tickets, support CCA. And it'll be a fun event. It'll be a fun night there. I promise you won't be disappointed. And then while we talked the last few minutes of the show, I'm going to put the QR code back up on the screen because for Kelly and I, this is so important. Kelly will tell you in February when they did this meeting, after we saw all the people that showed up.
Dave was crying. Dave was crying like real emotional tears. He was very touched.
I was so happy that you guys showed up and helped us to save fishing. It's super important. Go ahead, talk.
No.
He hung up. He knew.
Yeah.
That was my son calling. I always want to answer my kids when they call. You never know what's going on. You never know. I know. Kelly knows, but I don't have her crystal ball. I broke it.
Yep.
I broke the crystal ball. What else do we got to talk about, baby girl?
Let's see here. Well, you know what? I think we've covered a lot.
Anybody have any questions?
Yes, anybody have? Yes, TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx.
Oh, stop it, Matt.
Me and your wife, and Lisa, and Tina, TJ Maxx.
Yeah, TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx. Woo-hoo. All right. Okay. Anyway.
And we had the most coolest phone call right before we went live. A very close personal friend of Kelly and I's called us up and just about made Kelly cry.
He has no idea how much. I just can't even say. Kevin, or can I say his name?
Kevin Reardon.
Kevin Reardon. You have no idea how much you created my best memory of Mexico, my first memory of Mexico, my best memory of Mexico.
He has the most incredible home down here, and he invited Kelly and I to come to his house next week, and we are super blessed that he's invited us to come over there and hang out at his house. He lives over on the East Cape, and
I didn't think I'd ever see that place ever again.
And he called us up and invited us. He wants to hang out with us. That's how the world works, baby. Yep. You just don't know. You just got to keep being the best human being you can be, and you never know. We've met so many great people because of this silly little business that I started out of our one-bedroom apartment in California, in Trabuco Canyon, California. Started this out of nowhere. Didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw out of. And
we still don't. But we have
some of the greatest friends.
And I know for me, I've met so many people that, I've met big names in the industry, but I've made some really, really special friends with your Saltwater Guide members. I'm a part of the Hanson family. I mean, yeah, it's been a dream, just an absolute dream.
Heck yeah, Lisa, you're absolutely right. Tim, Marley's doing good today. Marley had a big night out last night. We went to a restaurant, got to have dinner with me, and didn't get home till 7:00. It's okay.
He loves his daddy, as you can tell.
It's okay.
Excuse me?
But yeah, he's good. We're good. Everybody's good. I will be up in Southern California on the 1st of May, gang. I have 3 seats available at my table. We already have 6 people joining us at our table. We can have 9. I have 3 seats available at my table for the CCA Lifetime Conservation Anthony Shea Award that's going to be going on. We're going to be having dinner right across the street from the Long Beach Airport. If you're living up in that area, you want to join me for dinner up there on May 1st. Kelly Girl's not going to make it to that event. She's going to be a part of CCA.
Because I got to watch somebody.
No, she's got to get ready. We're going to see her son just a couple days later in beautiful
we're going to see
Iowa.
My son. I'm so
Oskaloosa.
Oskaloosa, Iowa. Here we come.
So if you want to join me for dinner, I got 3 seats available at the CCA dinner honoring Dave Pfeiffer, the president of Shimano Corporation. He's going to be getting the Lifetime Achievement Anthony Shea Award. But it's about supporting CCA and supporting fishing and being with the who's who of the industry. I will be there. Todd Manser will be there. The president of Okuma will be there. The president of Shimano, the president of Dio. All the who's who of the industry will be at this dinner. And there's going to be over 300 people, who's who, and you are invited to have dinner with us. If you'd like to join me for dinner there.
It's a great opportunity you get to meet all these who's, like you said, all the who's who in the industry. You can sit down at the table with yours truly. How awesome that is.
Or we can get you another table if you don't want to sit with me.
But I sat with you last year. It was pretty cool.
All you got to do if you want to have dinner with me is give me a call
Marley
at 949-374-0786. I would love for you to join us for dinner. And then it would be a tradition. You would come every year because that's how it is with the people at my table. We're all family. Pablo will be there and his wife, Kate, will be there. And then Ron will be there. And then Bill Larkin and his son will be there. And then we got a spot for 3 of you. And Donna was telling me today she may have some lady anglers that want to sit at our table. So if you want to sit, I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but if you want to be at this dinner with us, you may want to give me a call today at 949-374-0786.
And we want to give a little special, a huge shout out to our dear, dear, dear friend, Ron. We just want you to know we love you and you're in our thoughts and prayers. Okay?
Yeah, he is. We love you, Ronnie. We love all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching our silly little show every day.
It is
and
silly,
being a part of us
sometimes.
and being a part of our family. And
and I want to say hello to my Valentine, Renee.
Renee. And gang, if you have anything that you would like us to cover on Thursdays, Kelly is always looking for some topics. Her and Lisa talk. That's kind of why we brought the Catalina thing in. If you got anything you'd like us to talk about,
we're going to do, is it next Thursday? Well, I don't know. Are we doing our show next Thursday because the meeting is Wednesday and Thursday?
No,
we're probably not going to do a normal
I will
show.
be on here because at lunch break, that's when we'll do our show. I'll be on here. Kelly will be doing what Kelly does. Thursday is a kind of a special day. If she joins us, she joins us. If she doesn't, it's always an honor when she joins us. You just never know. You should be in our house right
Ron's
before
great.
we go.
We just want him to know that we are thinking of him, right?
Yeah, Ron's a little sick, but he's okay. He's fine.
He's doing good.
He's fine. Okay? We love Ron. He's doing okay. He's going to be all right.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. We are going to do a special show, not next Thursday, but the following Thursday, where we're going to have like a little game. You all are going to send us your questions before the show. I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'm going to ask Dave questions about me and see if he can answer them. And he's going to do ask me questions about him and see if I can answer them. See if we have been paying attention to each other. I already tell you I'm going to win. So anyway, it's going to be fun. So stay tuned. We'll give you, we're going to ask you to send us some questions.
And we'll be at our friend's house on the East Cape that day. So
okay, well, I can't keep up, but
yeah,
it'll be fun.
Well, we just announced it a couple minutes ago.
You're going to get smacked.
All right.
To next week.
Do us a favor. Be at that meeting Wednesday, Thursday. We will see you. We'll be checking in with you. Tomorrow, I got the great Tim Ekstrom, co-owner of the Royal Star. They just left on their first long-range trip of the season. They're on their way down the line. He's going to be in the wheelhouse tomorrow. Star Lincoln is talking about, we're going to be talking what Tim, and he is the mad scientist of the sport fishing industry. My father would shut down everything whenever Tim was on. He would just hang on every word. Tim is the man. He's going to talk to us about what we think the season's starting to look like with the cold water. We'll be talking all kinds of cool stuff. So you want to join us tomorrow at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time? And then on Saturday morning, we're going to talk to these guys that are catching this bluefin on the piers back east that Noah is trying to shut them down. Because once again, Noah caught somebody smiling. And you know what happens when Noah sees you smiling, gang? They got to shut her down, and they got to shut her down quick. Can't be having anybody smile and enjoy themselves. So we're going to be talking about that on Saturday. Check us out tomorrow. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
And Cubby,
you're
getting chickens?
Chickens.
Oh, my God. Kelly wants to come up and help you take care of them.
I do.
Woo! She wants them to play with the cats. What's Cubby's dog's name?
Oh, my God.
What's your dog's
Rosie?
name?
No.
Rosie. I'll bet you Rosie's excited to get some chickens. I'll bet you little Rosie girl wants some chickens. All right, Marley, say goodbye.
Say goodbye,
Say
Marley.
goodbye. All right, adios.
Bye, gang. Thanks so much for joining us.